it's Sammy from Sammy's Sweet Life, and I totally got my hair did, so it looks totally different. I'm still kind of working on the tousled hair look. I still need some styling products. I still have to get different like shampoos and things. So I have an order coming, and I'm also getting another curling wand because mine is too like tiny barreled, so I get like tiny little waves. I want bigger waves. So this is definitely still a work in progress. I plan on going blonde. So this is my first step towards getting blonde. We're doing it in a gradual way. So next time I go in, they will lighten my hair even more. I've just always wanted to try out blonde, so we are working towards going there. I also plan on doing some funky colors once we're blonde, so that will be fun as well. I was talking to my hairstylist about this, and she said the colors will fade out pretty easily. So that will be just more of a temporary thing, but I'm going to play around with this, get funky with the hair, and I hope you guys are excited about the hair journey because you're gonna see it in these videos. I was thinking about like filming today, and I was planning on just putting my hair up in a bun. I was like, oh yeah, this is my first video showing the new hair, so I have to actually do the hair a little bit. So there you go, hair. So that's not really the purpose of this video. We are actually talking goals today. It is October 4th that I'm filming this, so I've already started my October goals, but I'm gonna walk through how September went. I did a September goals video, and I'm just really trying to hold myself accountable, hopefully motivate you guys to set your own goals and maybe be more productive, maybe try something new in your life. That's part of my goals, is just kind of throwing everything at the wall and seeing what sticks, seeing what habits that are healthy I could build, and I've got a big one this month. So before we get into that, let's go ahead and look down the goals from September, and I'll tell you how they went. I think I did pretty good on some, and then others were not so good. So for my goals, I had really lofty fitness goals. I was going to try to ride the bike every single day and also try my best to do the hardcore calendar, and both of those were complete fails. I think even like earlier on, like a week and a half in, I totally missed a day on the bike, and that's okay. I gave it a try. My goal was just to try. And there were just some days I did not feel like riding. I still did my PeloFondo training on Saturdays, so I was still pushing 15, 20, 25, even 30 miles for a Saturday, and then I really didn't want to ride on Sunday. So I definitely skipped quite a few Sundays. Like I skipped yesterday, even though it was in October. So my goal moving forward for biking is just bike most days. That's kind of been my goal all along since I got the bike. And then with the hardcore on the floor calendar, I did really great the first like 2.5 to 3 weeks of the month. And then I totally failed the last like week and a half. I just totally fell off of it, didn't really feel like doing it. And part of that was Johnny has not been doing that part with me. We've been kind of cheating. We've been going back to bed. We take Livy to school, get everything ready, and then we both hop back in the bed and take another like hour to hour and a half sleep because Stella sleeps late. Like I'm being able to film this right now because Stella is still asleep in the morning. So that has just been something lately that she's been sleeping in, and we've been taking advantage of it, and that is usually our workout together time, and then it just never lines up. Like he'll have a meeting when I have nap time, and then by the end of the day we just weren't into it, so we just have not been sticking with it very much. So I'm hoping we'll do a little bit better this month, but I feel like the 3 classes, it's usually a 10-minute core, a 10-minute whatever it is for the day, and then a 20-minute whatever it is for the day. So that's 40 minutes of working out, and then I like to get on the bike most days too for 20 to 30 minutes, and then I have a workout group that I try to do a couple of days, and that's an hour. So that's just a lot of working out, even for somebody who's really, really athletic, which is not me. Even for somebody who's really, really fit, who's also not me, that's a lot of working out every day. So I found that I couldn't stick with the whole calendar and do my workout group and do the bike. So I'm having to make decisions on that, which I'll talk about when I get into the actual October goals. But it was a definite learning experience trying to stick with my workout group every day, plus the hardcore calendar, plus the bike. It just was a fail. I can't do all of it all the time. As far as the next step, watching calories a little bit better, I definitely was better about tracking things this month, but I still went over my calories, which is totally fine with me. That's not the part I'm really a stickler on. The part I really want to be a stickler on is eating only when I'm actually hungry. I don't want to eat just to eat, and that's been my really bad habit I've been trying to break, and mostly I have broken it, but I got into a little bit more of a bad habit of like having a snack every evening, whether or not I needed or really wanted the snack. It's just like a mindless idea. Like they go to bed, I grab a snack. And that's just a hard habit to break. I'm almost a year into using MyFitnessPal and almost a year into working out. And I've changed that habit for the most part, but I saw myself kind of slipping back into it the last month. So I really, for September, wanted to concentrate on using my MyFitnessPal, tracking things, and just making sure I'm not getting into bad habits again. So I definitely did that. I feel like that was a success. Now the biggest flop of the month was no spend September. Totally didn't happen. Like, we totally spent too much money in September, even though we were supposed to be on a no spend. So again, we're gonna work on that in October. And then reading every night before bed. It wasn't always actually every night before bed, but I definitely was reading every day. I guess I'm like 3/4 of the way through the first Game of Thrones book. So I have done quite a bit of reading this month. It's just not always before bed, but usually it is. Usually I'll spend like 10 or 15 minutes easily before bed, just laying in the bed, reading on my Kindle, which happens to be my phone. I just use the Kindle app, and that was really enjoyable. I also would sneak in times during the day, like Olivia and Stella will go run off playing in the afternoon, and I can sneak a little bit of reading time in then. Sometimes Stella will go upstairs and play completely by herself during the day. Sometimes she wants to watch the same movie like a billion times, so it seemed like, gosh, especially last week. Every day last week, we watched a portion of one of the Frozen movies. We would not finish the entire movie, but we would watch a section of one of the movies every single day. So I'm like, I've watched this movie 500 times. I'm gonna just sit on my phone and read instead of like watch it with her. So I got some more reading time in, especially last week for that. And then that was it as far as my September goals. Now, I feel like my October goals are a little bit loftier because of a couple of things. PeloFondo's coming, so that's a big lofty goal. I pledged 35 miles and I plan on getting somewhere between 35 and 50. Ideally, I would get really close to that 50 or hit 50, but I'm not sure that I'm capable of it. I've been training for it. I did just under 2 hours this last Saturday and hit 30 miles. And then one time earlier in the month, I did hit 36 miles. And that was like 2 hours and 10 minutes or 2 hours and 20 minutes, something like that. But that was my longest day with my longest distance. And then 2 days back, I was able to hit 30 miles in under 2 hours, which is really good for me. I was really, really proud of that. So again, like every Saturday is my PeloFondo training day. I just try to go about 2 hours or so. I don't know that I'm gonna go past like 2.5 hours because that's quite a bit. So it will be on the PeloFondo weekend. I will go Saturday and Sunday. I'll try to do a 2-hour stretch and hopefully hit 50. So that is my plan. I feel like the second day I won't be as strong or as fast as I will be the first day, but I'm gonna give it my all and try that. I really am excited about that. That's at the end of this month. And then as far as the fitness group, I really would like to hit 2 to 3 days with them. So it's just 2 to 3 mornings a week I can go to that. And the only other carryover goal from last month was trying to do a no spend, and that is just, gosh, I just am so bad about spending certain times of the year, especially like getting around Christmas. We're trying to buy Christmas presents a little bit early just to make sure that we have them, because even when we were trying to buy birthday presents for Stella, things were out of stock already, and it's like, it's October. This should not be happening. We're ordering things in September. We should not be having issues, but that's just kind of how it is right now. So we're gonna definitely do a much lighter birthday and a much lighter Christmas this year. Yeah, but overall, huge fail in the no spend September. We're really gonna try no spend October. Get real with you moment here. I try to do the no spend, and then I see like all of her dance stuff comes out. And so we're talking hundreds and hundreds of extra dollars because of recitals and competitions and things coming out. And then I'm like, oh, well, you know, we've already blown it. We've already blown our allotted kids budget. Why not just go crazy? Things like that, where certain things will just like set me off, and I was like, oh, well, I guess I'm buying my new bedding because I feel like it. Just bad habits with spending. I need to definitely rein that in and be a little better about that. Actually be a lot better about that, to be honest. So as far as new goals, I'm going to talk quite a bit about my first new goal, and the other ones are more minor goals. This one is getting into a better habit and not scrolling. So I actually don't hardly use Instagram. I, for quite a while, hardly ever touched Facebook. And then I got into all the Peloton stuff. I joined all the Peloton Facebook groups, and I feel like I got into this really bad habit of being on Facebook all day long. It's like anytime I had a free second on the phone, I was on Facebook. And now, the last couple of weeks, I've really been trying to rein that in a little bit more and read my book instead of scrolling on the phone. So I'd have a minute, like Stella will watch 30 minutes of Frozen. I would be scrolling Facebook, checking out the Facebook groups, reading about all the Peloton stuff, and it's like Peloton moms groups, Peloton nutrition groups, and people are asking questions that are, you know, a lot of parenting advice, a lot of recommendations for products and things, not Peloton related at all. And so I'm just mindlessly scrolling, mindlessly reading people's drama and people's stories and getting really sucked into things. And this is a habit I worked really hard to try to break in the past, like just living on social media is just not healthy for our minds. And I know people are gonna think this is dumb. Like, some people think social media is totally innocent and fine. I think it's bad for our health if you do too much of it. I think in small doses it's fine, but I totally believe some of the science coming out about it, some of the studies coming out about it, where it just totally messes with our minds. So I ended up making that my goal for October. And for me, it's not only checking Facebook. I would get into this habit of checking both of my emails and checking Facebook. So I'm like checking my emails that I've already checked like 500 times this day, and checking Facebook for the 500th time today every time I have a spare minute in the house and I'm sitting on my phone, because Stella will want me to be near her, but she won't necessarily need my attention or want me to play with her. So I will be sitting there for like, 10, 15, 20-minute chunks at a time. When she's getting into the groove, I can be mindless on my phone. And lately I've been trying to read more, but I was getting into this bad habit where I would switch between my emails and my Facebook. So I've got 2 emails, I'll go click one email, click the other email, click the Facebook thing, and then go back and forth doing that over and over again. And it's totally mindless, totally this bad habit. And so I set this goal as a main big goal for October, is to break this habit. And so far, so good. My goal is to cut back on Facebook and compulsive email checking. So that's what I wrote on here. And I'm giving myself 1 time a day. Going from, I start my day with this, I start every free session, and I'll sit there and mindlessly do it, and then I'll realize, oh, I'm doing that, I should read, and then I'll go read. So it was an automatic thing. The second I turn my phone on, that's where I go. I go check the emails, check the Facebook. How I combated this, I will show this up on the screen for you guys. I'm gonna do a little screen recording and show you I moved the icons. So they used to be on this front page here, and I moved everything onto the second page into this folder, and I titled it Once a Day. And you can see I've got my emails, I've got Facebook, Facebook Messenger, Instagram, and Band. I use Band for some stuff. The Band doesn't necessarily have to be once a day, it's just I forget to check it. So I put it in this once a day folder so I can actually remember to check it once a day. But yeah, that totally messed up the connection in my head, where it would be on my front screen. I could just go click, 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 click all of them really quickly. A lot of times I will mindlessly just scroll up on my phone, realize, oh, they're not there. Oh yeah, I'm not supposed to be clicking on these. And then I was like, I wasn't even really turning my phone on for anything productive. I was just turning on my phone mindlessly, automatically, to go to these things. And that's how I realized how unhealthy and bad social media is, specifically for me. I was getting really compulsive about checking my email 5 billion times a day. And I know there are studies that say people mindlessly check their email so many times a day, and the numbers are staggering. And I completely understand. After I moved the folders over, I realized how important this goal is, particularly for me, because I am a totally compulsive email checker. And it's not even that I would answer people back or have time to even answer people back. I would just check, see there were new emails, click out of it, go to Facebook, and sit there on Facebook reading other people's life stories and dramas and getting sucked into stories. And it's just bad. It's just mindless. It's just a waste of time. And having the things on the second screen inside a folder has totally changed that automatic thing. It just broke up this automatic routine I was going through. So I have to think about it now. And then once I scroll open, realize what I was going to do, and the icons aren't there, so it's not an automatic fix. I go to the next page, and I was like, oh yeah, once a day. So for the first day, it was Friday, and we had somewhere to be, but it was on Facebook. That invite thing was on Facebook. So I had to check it to find out the details. So I counted that as my once a day on Facebook. It was just literally me checking the event information. I didn't scroll or anything. I was checking the event before we left. And then later in the day, I was planning on using my once a day right before bed, being on my phone for 10 or 15 minutes and setting a timer, which I did set a timer last night. I was like, oh, I already technically checked it once a day. I'm good. I didn't even check it at all. I didn't scroll at all one day. And that was huge because, I have these pockets of time between kids stuff where I would just mindlessly do it. And it was just such a bad habit to get into. And I realized how much I was, staring at the phone, doing stupid stuff. And now if I get on the phone, it's for a purpose. And I also will be reading. So that also is a more productive thing. I'm reading a book. I've read the book before, I've watched the shows before. It's definitely a more healthy thing than scrolling and getting sucked into weird stuff, weird stories, and filling my brain with mindless clutter. That's what I feel like it is. It's clutter for your mind. So that was my biggest thing to start this month. And I'm gonna keep going with this, of course. Like, this isn't just like 1 month and then I'll put my icons back and then I'll compulsively do it again. This is to try to break this habit and really like think about only once a day doing these things. And like when I'm there checking my email once a day, I'm answering whatever emails I need to answer, putting things into the calendar, not forgetting about emails because they get buried, just like dealing with emails at the time that I check it 1 time a day and be done with it. With the Facebook mindless scrolling, I literally set a timer last night for 10 minutes and scrolled for 10 minutes. And when the timer went off, I was still kind of like reading the comments of one thread and I was like, nope, timer's done. I willed myself away from it after the 10 minutes and then actually read Game of Thrones. That was my next thing to do. That's just how I'm gonna do it moving forward this month. And this is gonna be the hardest one, and it has already been hard. Like, there have been so many times I'm like, well, I'm sitting here, I have time. As I've like pulled myself back from it, we're on day 4 now. It wasn't like this morning I wanted to check it. I have kind of broken that little routine thing, so I didn't mindlessly automatically try to go to it, but for the first couple days I did, realizing how beneficial it is. Like, I feel like I broke the chain of like always being on my email, and it's not even that I get that many emails, guys. It's so dumb. That's part of it. It's like, I don't know how much time I waste, and it's just like a minute here and there, but I don't know how much of my day I wasted just mindlessly doing this before I do anything else on my phone. Like, if I have an idea for a video, I would open my phone and want to put it in my notes. Well, first I would check my email. I'd go check one, check the other one, and then go do the notes thing. It was just an automatic thing, and I didn't think twice about it. So now I'm more mindful of it. All that to say, that's my main big goal for this month. I do have other goals, but that's my main big goal. To go along with fitness goals, I'm definitely gonna build up to the PeloFondo, try my best to get 35 to 50 miles for that, but I'm also trying to do 30 minutes of yoga a day, and I will do a whole separate video of my 30 days of yoga experience. 30 minutes of yoga for 30 days, so that gives me 1 rest day in between if I need a rest day. But I also can do the restorative yoga, which is very, very easy, so I can definitely squeeze it in. There's no excuses to not do the 30-minute yoga. And so far, again, like 4 days in, so far so good. Again, that'll be a whole separate video at the end of the month. And then one of the goals I've already been kind of working on, but I'm making it a solid goal this month. I really want to get 2 videos on this channel every week. Just 2 solid videos planned ahead of time, scheduled ahead of time, and like be on my game for that. So far so good. I have the videos planned for this week already. So I'll end up with 3 videos this week because this one's gonna go up as soon as I can get it edited. But that's, you know, a goal to have 2 videos per week. For a while, I was really slacking, only getting 1 video a week, but now I'm back into it, trying to get into a better routine with it. And then one of my goals that I'm slowly kind of working on is just getting into a stellar morning routine. I just, you know, we've gotten into the habit of going back to bed some mornings, and also I don't wake up much earlier than having to get Olivia ready. So I'm really trying to push back to waking up earlier. We ended up getting a cold, like we got COVID tested, made sure it wasn't that, but it was just some sort of nasty virus going around, and we all just, you know, needed the extra sleep for that week, and then we have no excuse after that. So I've been staying up a little too late, sleep again. So the main part of this is trying to go to bed a little earlier so that I can wake up a little earlier, and just getting back into the habit of that. So that's just something that's going to be kind of like on the back burner, not a huge giant goal, but something I'm still working towards. It's like setting up this morning routine where it's a really just top-notch morning routine. I get my stuff done, feel productive already in the beginning of the day before I, you know, hit the ground running with the kids. And then my hopeful goal this month, which may come true, is we want to install the closet system. So we ended up ordering it in September and not getting it yet. It's actually supposed to arrive today, so we will see if it actually shows up today. And it's basically like build your own closet. You plan it out. This is a custom closet, but you're the one installing it. Instead of the company actually installing it, you install it yourself. So that's where we saved a little bit of money. It's still expensive because it's still a custom closet, but it's a lot of DIY. That's the part that's hopeful we will get it done this month. We have my mom coming this week for a week, so that will put us behind working on this because we have, you know, limited times of doing this. He works, I take care of Stella all day. We have limited times to work on the closet. So hopefully we will get it done. We're basically ripping out half the closet and then reinstalling another half closet. You know, a massive thing. We've never ripped out anything. I assume we're gonna have drywall repair, texturizing the wall, painting things, then reinstalling everything. It's just, it seems like it's gonna be a lot. And then on top of that, like trimming it out to make it look like it's built in. It's just going to be a big project. So I don't know that we're actually going to get it done this month, but we are really hopeful to work on it. They said the drawer pieces are completely already put together, so you just have to slide the drawer into the boxes when you get that. So that part's at least done. We don't have to build all the drawer boxes, like the physical drawers, but we have to build everything else. And so it's going to be a lot, but I'm really excited about it. And that's something I hope we can do. This is our first like big DIY. We've done like minor things. And Sami history lesson here. When I was a kid, my mom was a single mom, so she basically DIY'd as much as possible and hired out very few things because it costs a lot of money to hire out stuff. So we installed tile. We painted. Every time there was painting needing to be done, I was helping paint. So I'm really good at trimming out paint because I've done this like my whole life. So I kind of like have this DIY background where I was forced into doing all these DIY projects, and my gut instinct is to like not want to do DIY things, like want to just hire it out, have it done, because I always did DIYs growing up and just hating it, especially at a certain age. I hated helping with these projects and being roped into it. This is a big step, like him and I doing this big project together. Hopefully we survive it. We've survived building tons of IKEA furniture together, so I think we'll be okay. I hope we don't like argue too much and nitpick too much about it. Hopefully we have good results with this because we have other DIYs we want to get done, so I'm excited about it. But I think that's it for the goals. I'm just kind of rambling at this point about the closet because I'm so excited it's coming today. Guys, it's gonna be a great day. I got my filling done before Stella woke up, which is like a huge bonus. My mom's on her way here, which this week will be fun with that. Stella's birthday is this week, and also our closet's coming. All around, we're gonna have tons of fun this month. I'm really hopeful about my goals, so I would love to know in the comment section down below, what are your goals for this month? I saw something recently saying there was 100 days left in this year, so there's still time to get some things done. You can still knock out some goals, and that's what I hope you guys see in these videos, that, you know, we're getting to the end of the year where we can totally slack off and be like, oh, we can't do anything. But we can. We still have lots of time. We still have 3 whole months left in the year. So that's a whole quarter of a year. I think we can get it done. So I'm really trying to stick with these goals, and I hope you guys will make some goals with me this month. Let me know what they are down below. Be sure to like, subscribe, and have a great start to your month. I hope it's super productive. And now I'll say bye. Have a great day, and I'll catch you next time. Bye, guys.